And
Well, Marcus.
and they're still coming in.
Next time, get a call.
Excellent, quick, have a seat.
Is this the peace talks?
Yes. This is opening ceremony.
This is opening ceremonies where you get to see everybody present at the peace talks.
But is this peace talks scene too?
Yes.
Okay. I was making sure that I was in the right place.
Well, Marcus.
Read your map.
It looks like the opening ceremonies are drawing some attention.
Yes, they are. How are you all feeling today? Excellent. Well, there are a lot more here than there were at Front Gate, which is fantastic. But, unfortunately, as I peruse this fine crowd, I am not seeing any Northlander chieftains.
Patience, Marcus. They will arrive soon enough. Perhaps I should get the crowd up to speed on what has transpired thus far.
That is an excellent idea. I will just stand right over here.
Thank you, Marcus. So, how many of you are new travelers to Vonsall? Wow, Marcus, look how many.
That's pretty good, but watch this. How many of you, lords and ladies, missed the Front Gate scene? Now see, those are the ones you need to speak to.
Thank you, Marcus.
Right, back to my perch.
So, for those of you who missed the opener, you are now in the town of Vonsall, which lies on the border of Culane.
That's the good guys.
And the Northlanders.
And those are the bad, misunderstood tribe to the north. What?
For the past 3 years, Culane has been fighting a war against a secretive yet destructive enemy known only as the Dominion.
And those are the real bad guys. Just, ugh.
Led by the mysterious entity called the Sovereign, the Dominion has felled our spiritual and magical icon, the Green Man, and now seeks to bring all of Culane under Dominion rule.
And that is something that we will not allow to have happen. At least, I won't anyway.
Marcus, we have talked about this.
We did. Sorry.
There are now some high-ranking officers in Culane's military who believe that only by forging an alliance with the Northlands can Culane replenish its depleted numbers and eventually turn the tide of the war.
While there's some other military men out there, though not officers, military nonetheless, that believe this whole peace talks idea is a bad idea because of the ugly history between Culane and the... What?
Marcus, who is telling this story?
You are...
Who is?
You are...
Right. Now, if you wouldn't mind just going over there.
Fine.
You can stay over there. The history that my traveling companion has brought up relates to a vicious war fought between Culane and the Northlands.
Wait. You heard it yourself. She said a vicious war.
Fought 300 years ago.
Okay. Some wounds take a while to heal.
Then let us hope that the Northland chiefs do not express as much hatred as some men of Culane that I know. Otherwise, Culane may be writing its final chapter.
Don't trust Northlanders.
Don't listen to him.
This seems like a good show, huh?
Councilor Taylor, how are the preparations for the opening ceremony progressing? Councilor Thaler! I'm sorry, General. I was distracted. The preparations are nearly complete, but I see that the Northland delegates have yet to arrive. I take that to mean that you do not believe that they will arrive? If the words I would use to describe them, General Gellerin, reliable would be far down the list, yes. You'd best be improving your opinion and hope that they do arrive, Counselor. A couple of centuries in those harsh realms of theirs after the Great War has not dulled their taste for combating, and we're going to need such warriors against the numbers of the Dominion. Fact I am all too aware of. Forgive me, gentlemen. I do not mean to sound as disapproving as I do, but unlike yourself, I was around for the Great War centuries ago. I still carry old prejudices.
Aye. The folk of Grumar may not be as long-lived as you elven folk, but we're no strangers to carrying grudges. And it's not as if I haven't lost some legionnaires at the hands of some damned Northlander raiders over the years. But this war with the Dominion,
And without the Green Man's protection. Seems we must finally bring the Northlanders into the fold. Truly make them the allies they should have been after the Great War ended.
It might have helped to treat them more as allies who had lost the way, instead of as conquered enemies.
They were treated as fairly as was possible at the time. They instigated the war and nearly brought the whole realm to ruin.
It seems it isn't the whole of the history you're remembering, Counselor. Or should I mention Mendax the Usurper? Yet we were the ones who bore the brunt of the Allied lands' displeasure as they dragged one false chief away to the unseen lands and left one of his own people to claim the crown.
Have a care, Warden. I do not take kindly to being called a liar, even through inference.
Counsel, believe me, as a warden and as a Northlander, if I was calling you a liar, there wouldn't be anything left to infer. And that's what I like about you, Ulrich. Always making new friends. It's because I'm so warm and cuddly. Oh, yeah.
Major Bastion, I take it that this gentleman is who we have to thank for bringing the Northlander clan chiefs to us today?
Yes, General. Might I present to you Warden Ulrich? He's a good man, and I fought with him quite a few times.
You mean beside him?
Yes, that too. His demeanor aside, there really is a decent mind
Isn't
hiding
that
up.
good? Yep.
And it was his idea to go to the Northlanders in the first place. Ah, yes. Turn to the one group of people who isn't fighting the Dominion. Truly, I'm a tactical mastermind.
Yes, well, while it may have been obvious to you, no one else would have been able to gather the clan chiefs together the way that you did, without bloodshed. Ulrich, you are not unknown to me, Warden. The head warden speaks highly of you. The former head warden tries not to.
See, I told you. Warm and cuddly. Still, General, done the best I can. I can only ask the Northlander chiefs to come here. The rest is up to you.
Let us hope that that is enough.
Counselor, General, there's someone here saying they were sent by the, Fairy Queen to see you.
Yes. I was unaware the Fairy Queen was sending any representatives.
I present you Lady Isari of the Fairy Court of Kuki and personal friend to the Queen.
On behalf of the Allied Council of the town of Bonsor, I welcome you to our fair town. I apologize for the lack of a proper welcoming committee. But as I said, I was unaware of anyone being sent.
Much less a fairy.
No apologies necessary, my dear counselor. And my Northlander friend?
Dwarf!
Really? Aren't you a bit tall to be a dwarf trooper?
If you must know, my grandmother was a Northlander. My grandfather liked tall women. And it's general, milady.
No, of course. Yes, well, I was sent here by the Queen. Did I tell you? She's a personal friend of mine. Well, the Queen is just as concerned as anyone else is about the Northlanders joining us, and asked if I could come and be of any aid whatsoever during the proceedings.
It is not that I am ungrateful. It's just as I said, I was unaware of anyone being sent.
Yes, well, it was somewhat of a spur-of-the-moment decision for the Queen. I forget what else she was doing at the time. I believe she was doting upon her grandnephew from Kobolos. She asked me to come, so here I am.
Aye, that certainly sounds like a fake queen.
Diplomacy, gentlemen. Lady Sari, on behalf of the Allied Council, I most graciously accept any assistance you could grant us in these proceedings.
My, aren't you the proper one? Well then, on behalf of the Queen, we accept. Now, who might these other excellent specimens be?
The gentleman at my side.
Councilor Thalar, thank you very much, but I think that I can introduce myself. General Kelrin of the Kulain Allied Legion. And this is my adjunct, Major Bastion.
Generals and majors, so many officers.
Ah, yes. We're up to our brass in them.
A Northlander. A chieftain, considering the amount of weapons you're allowed to carry. I didn't think they would only be sending one single representative.
They didn't. Yes, I'm a Northlander, but I'm also a warden. Warden Orc, at your service.
I was not aware that there would be any magi here.
I don't believe I said that there were. Now might be a good time to practice that warm and cuddly. Please forgive my friend. Wardens spend so much time on their own that they often forget how to talk properly to real people. However, were it not for him, we would not be meeting with the Northlanders in the first place.
Yes, well, I was about to ask if that is the warden, then I must have missed seeing the Northlanders.
No, Lady Sari. You haven't missed them. They've yet to arrive.
Oh? You mean I was not the last to arrive?
I have no doubts that they'll show. The warden did the best that he could.
Well then, let's hope his best was good enough.
Well, it looks it was good enough to get some of them to arrive. General, Counselor, over there.
Look at those cops.
Yes, Council. 3 of them. Yes. There are at least a dozen tribes up in the Northland. And you can only convince 3 of them to come to our aid?
No, Elf. Only 3 of us have come to listen to you ask for our aid.
You should be thankful for that much.
Speak honestly and wisely enough, Phalar. These 3 will be more than enough. Well, at least you 3 could bother to show up. It's good to see you, Ragnar. And you too, Auric. We will need to have words later. Several. Maybe the 4 sentences. You know, I didn't think you would come, Skell.
I almost did it. But if it was a choice between leading my warriors on another boar hunt, or coming down here to listen to an actual boar, I keep the option that, keeps me furthest from the wife,
You're truly the wisest of your people. Oliver! Good to see someone with some sense around here.
I almost didn't think you were here. None of the buildings are on fire.
It was one stable, Oliver. One stable.
Excuse me, but if you would see fit to introduce us.
Oh, yes, of course. Some folks in charge of Vonsaw and some high-ranking legionnaires. May I present the 3 chiefs of the largest tribes of the Northlands. Ragnar, Oliver, and Skell.
Yes. Honored chieftains, I am Councilor Phalar of the Allied Council, and I humbly welcome you to our fair town in hopes of forging a lasting alliance.
I am Ragnar, son of Grimnar, chief of the Storm Wolves. My allies are Chiefs Olver of the Greytowns and Chief Skeld of the Fianna. We have heard of your war from beyond the mountains, and of your need for allies in your war. A war that my people have no part of. But we are here as a favor, and so we will stand to listen for the moment.
We understand your hesitation. Thank you that you have come here to listen to our pleas. For we do not use these words lightly. For this may be Culane's darkest hour, and we need your help.
Aye. Very well then, Counselor. State your case. We will listen.
We will, after the counselor completes the opening ceremonies for the Midsummer Festival.
There's an enemy on your doorstep, and you decided to make time for a party?
The Midsummer Festival is important. It is a gathering, a celebration of life, a life that will not have dictated to us by fear of the sovereign or his hordes.
Then I can think of no better reason then to celebrate. Perhaps there is more Northlander spine in these people than we have been led to believe.
Perhaps. Very well then, Counselor. Make your speeches. We will be... What's the word for when you have to wait but you don't really want to, but you're being patient? Patient!
Thank you, Lord Ragnar, son of Grimnar, chief of the Stormwolves, for your understanding. Hear ye all, lords and ladies, gentle beings of every species from all corners of the Allied lands. It is our greatest honor to open the doors of our town of Vonsal to you all and welcome you to the Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Fair.
Huzzah!
We have opened our gates and welcome you all to join us in celebrating the passing of the summer solstice and in defiance of the shadow cast over this realm by our war with the sovereign. We defy the Dominion by celebrating life, opening our arms, and welcoming strangers as family. In this we welcome you, one and all, and ask that you come back to this field of honor at 4:30, where a special tournament of champions will be held, as our mightiest and most cunning warriors engage in feats of dazzling skill. Until such time, we have opened up the doors to our fair town to you all. Ask you to make what merry you may, so long as it harm none. And once more welcome you to the Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Fair!
Are you done? All right, we can go now. Go.
I'm gonna sit down and agree with him. He does magic. Yeah, we'll go to that. No, that if you want to do something on your own, yeah, I wanted to see the
Now go buy something!
And don't forget, the hour of 1:30.